This Ask Energy question comes from Tom. Tom asks, should I snack after dinner? Okay, great question. It's kind of a broad question, but let me break this down a little bit. So there are a few different reasons why we tend to snack after a dinner. The first one is because we are used to snacking after dinner. That's called habitual eating, right? So you just do it out of habit. You may not be hungry, but after you eat dinner, maybe you're craving a sweet, or maybe it's an hour later and you're sitting down, you're watching TV, hanging out with the family, whatever. And maybe that's just part of your habit, right? Okay. Mm. Second reason you may snack after dinner is because there is an emotional connection to food at that time. So this may be where you're decompressing after a long day of work. Maybe you're happy, maybe you're sad, maybe you're just getting tired, and all of a sudden you reach to food to satisfy that emotion. Now, I'm not saying good or bad here, but I think it's really important to realize that there are a couple different reasons why we may snack or why our body or our brain will engage in snacking after dinner. Okay, so that's the first two reasons. The last reason is biological hunger. So I see this a lot with athletes. If for some reason you have not eaten enough food throughout the day, even at dinner, you're going to still be hungry. Your body, right, is going to need more nutrition. So biological hunger is basically when your stomach is grumbling for the most part, and maybe your cognitive functioning is a little bit less. Kind of you're counting in the clouds. You can't really formulate a sentence. Can't really think that much or that clear. So the three reasons why you may snack after dinner: out of habit, out of emotion, and just because you're hungry. Okay, so now that we have those in line, should you snack after dinner? Well, it's it kind of depends, right? Like, what are your goals? If you're trying to lose weight or lose body fat, no, don't snack after dinner. That's the worst thing you can do. Like, drink some water, have some non-caffeinated tea or something, right? So we have to put that in context. Are you trying to gain weight? Well, if you're trying to gain weight, then yeah, snacking after dinner would make sense, depending on what you're choosing. Should you or do you have to? Absolutely not. You don't have to. But what I like to teach people is identify when you are snacking after dinner, what's the reason? Are you doing it because it's a habit? Are you doing it because you're stressed or bored or fatigued or whatever out of emotion? Or are you really doing it because you're hungry? If you're doing it because you're hungry, you should look at how you've structured your day with your nutrition and try to put more food earlier in the day. Okay. If you're doing it out of habit, what you could do is actually replace that food with a beverage, right? So a non-caloric, non-caffeinated beverage, seltzer water, non-caffeinated tea, water, just something like that, right? Because your body's kind of used to something coming into the body, so you can easily just kind of fool it, if you will, with some fluids. And then the emotional one, listen, that's the toughest one because a lot of times we just want to decompress after a long day at work or stressful day of training or whatever. And sometimes, yeah, we reach to our comfort foods, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you minimize those times that you do that. So, again, the question is, do I have to snack after dinner? Absolutely not, but we need to put it in context of what your goals are from a health, longevity, and athletic performance standpoint, but also identify the why behind your snacking. Because once you do that, you'll be able to answer a lot more questions as to why you do it and possibly do it either strategically or completely disregard it and not do it at all. All right, Tom, great question. Thanks for submitting.